This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start very soon. So please stay tuned. Hello everybody. This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this... Hello everybody, and welcome to what I think could well be the first video of September 23. So what better way than to get started than to do a quick live stream. Apologies for the glare. It's a nice warm autumnal day of around 30 degrees here in the UK today. So we've got a bit of a glare on the screen, but we'll just have to crack on with that, and hopefully the sun will dissipate in the coming minutes or so. I'm not hoping to take up too much of your time. Thank you very much for dropping by. It is very much appreciated. What we've got coming up now, what I'm going to do is, I always tend to look around August, the end of August. Basically, I split my 2-year-old searching into a couple of sections. The first time I'll start from, say, the start of the season to about 3 weeks before Royal Ascot, just to try and get some onside possible for Royal Ascot and leading us through to around now, really, the end of August. And then they tend to be maidens, really, due to there not being many pattern races at the start of the season. So then I tend to really just let them race in the background in maidens through August. Don't really pay much attention to them. Concentrate on the ones I've identified, who hopefully some of them are heading towards pattern races now at this stage. And then in September time, it's a good opportunity, I think, to pick some maidens back up again over, say, 7 furlongs and a mile. I think they're even going a bit further this year. That'd be interesting. And then just to try and get some sort of late developers. I mean, a horse that's winning first time out now isn't really giving itself much time, is it, to get to races like the Dewhurst and races like that, the Racing Post Trophy in late September, early October, whenever it is. late October, I think it is really, stroke early November. So it's an interesting time of year. This not really a time I think for being blown away by a horse that wins a 2-year-old maiden. But I do like to keep an eye on the end of season ones, just to, especially the ones that with the pedigree I've got enough in there to see that they are 1.5 mile horses, you know. But I'm hoping now that we've got, by this time, normally what would happen is got some fairly decent 2-year-olds that have been identified before August, and a lot of them are hopefully doing quite well. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take a look at every single 2-year-old that's been identified on this channel this season. There's a playlist there containing the videos of the pedigrees and videos watching them win as well. But they're on the playlist. I've not entirely worked out how to add playlists to live streams. If I was to pre-record this video, I could stick a note at the top to guide everybody to that at the end of it. I'm not sure I can do that on live streams yet. So I'm just sort of playing it by ear. We're all learning as we go along. What's the main objective of this, you may ask? Well, we've got classicwatch24.great/site.net already online. At the minute, it's just containing Australian horses. But the plan is really to have horses from the UK, Ireland, France, wherever the good ones are. And hopefully ahead of the 2024 Classics, if I'm still on this planet, hopefully there will be some UK horses on here as well, you know, and all over Europe as well as the Australian horses that are already on there, because their 3-year-old campaign starts on the 1st of August. Right, so we're going to go through these horses. I'm just going to say we're not going to talk much about the pedigree, A, probably because I won't be able to remember what they're related to at the time, and B, it's just going to be looking at the form of them, how they're getting on, and any entries they might have over the next month or so. And then once that's done, people at the time can write the horses down if they wish to follow them. They can, I've got the YouTube live stream on the go already. There's a bit of chat on there as well. Forgot about that. I will put a message in the chat. And ask everybody what is the best 2-year-old they have seen in Europe this year. And you never know, it might even be one that we've already got. Oh, it's just weird. I'm not even typing now. That and why it's so slow, I have no idea. Just noticed a quick typo there, so we will eliminate that. So let's crack on. Don't forget the site, classicwatch24.great/site.net. Well, these haven't been ranked in any type of order. Well, the only order they might be in is which one was identified. Basically, I sort them as I go along to ones that are doing quite well, ones that are struggling, and ones that are just there in the background. So we've got a couple that are struggling, a couple that are doing quite well, followed by a couple that are struggling, and then the rest. I think it's fair to say. When I say doing quite well, they've won pattern races. The first one we're going to take a look at is Matrika. This one was definitely identified before Royal Ascot. I fancied it at Royal Ascot. It was unfortunately second that day at 9-1. But I thought she ran a good race. And she proved that she did, really, when she won a Group 2 after that. Running to seven lower than what the Racing Post thought she ran when she ran second at Royal Ascot, which is interesting. Regarding the classics, well, it's a no-nay never. I mean, I've tried better horses by no-nay never on the damn side than Matrika with classics, and it just don't happen for the stallion. You saw that this year with Meditate. You saw it with Little Big Bear. I think people might just soon have to start to accept that No Nay Never is just not a sire of classic horses. I think it's getting to that stage with him, unfortunately. Unfortunate for the people that have to try and fill books signed by him, because people who use him can pretty much guarantee, in my view, that they won't win a classic. They still keep turning up to use him. Matrika, she's really got to be looking at Group 1s now, isn't she, really? She's a Group 2 winner, and you'll see there that she's one that is in the Moyglare Stud Stakes on the 10th of September, where she is 14-1. The white market bookies seem to think she has more chance of going to the Cheveley Park Stakes, or at least being competitive in the Cheveley Park Stakes over 6 furlongs. She is 8-1 for that. Yeah, nice 2-year-old filly. Yeah, that's all Matrika. She's doing quite well. She's done nothing wrong so far in her career. The next one, City of Troy. Well, what can people say? I mean, this horse ran to a mark of 117 when it destroyed the field in July in the Group 2 Superlative Stakes. I mean, this horse looks to be certain to take high rank in the 2-year-olds this year. People could say, after running to 117 in its second start, it already has. Yeah, but this horse is an incredible prospect, really. Brilliant horse. Plenty of entries, as you would expect. You'll see it's 1-3 for the National Stakes to land Group 1 glory on the 10th of September. And then towards the end of September, 5-1 for the Middle Park and 4-1 for the Newmarket, Darley Dewhurst Stakes. I mean, yeah, it seems to be that sort of horse, doesn't it? It seems to be the way it's heading. I can remember many a short price favourite getting turned over in the National Stakes, though. So hopefully the horse will win its Group 1 at the weekend if it chooses to take its chance and then move on. Yeah, heading towards the classics, this one, you would think, with a pedigree like that, without any shadow of a doubt. The third one is based in France, Ramatuelle, the filly. Another one you'll see sired by Justify. This filly's been kept quite busy, it's fair to say, running 5 times. It was unlucky, really, not to win a Group 1 in the pre-morning, although Van Dijk, the winner, has got good form. A good winner it was of a pattern race before it won the morning. It's a good horse in its own right. But I think there, Ramatuelle, rather like she did when she got beat by Beauvatier, more of that one later, rather gives these horses a target. She likes to go off in front and try and lead all the way, which in a French race with these fast finishes is dangerous. And she got done by a short neck by Van Dijk in the morning, running to a mark of 110. You saw Matrika there, running to 195, So this filly looks to be a bit ahead of Matrika at this stage, you'd have to say. And running so far over similar trips, with it being French, it is actually entered in the Cheveley Park Stakes for Ramatuelle, where she is a 3-1 shot. For me, I'm hoping they step her up in 7 furlongs and go for the pre-Marcel Boussac. That's what I'm hoping they do on Arc Day. But yeah, Cheveley Park would seem to be a reasonable option for that. Very good filly, I think. Very good. And it's battle hardened as well. There's no excuse regarding inexperience with this one. Very good filly. The next one identified was Bucanero Fuerte, who was the winner of a Group 1. He beat the horse that beat Matrika by 4 lengths in the Group 1 Phoenix National Stakes in the middle of August. Phoenix Stakes, sorry, not the National Stakes, Phoenix Stakes, where he ran to a mark of 116. Another one that was identified before Ascot. I did fancy it to do well at Ascot. It ran okay to finish 3rd. But since then, it really has kicked on. Winning a Group 2 in July around the same time as Matrika did. It won the Railway Stakes. And then it won the Group 1, like we said, in Coa, the Phoenix. 3 out of 4 starts. That's another one I think that is due down to run against City of Troy in the National Stakes, where he is 3-1. This one here, though, is related to Woodhead that won the Abbey, isn't it? So I always thought this horse was a sprinter when I identified it. I was thinking, good 2-year-old. It's reasonably priced for the Guineas. You know, there's prices about it for the Dewhurst, the 7 furlong races, as well as the races like the 6 furlong Middle Park. They've got races like the National Stakes as well. You know, if this horse, they campaigned this horse at a mile next season, it would be a very interesting to see if the horse would stay the trip. Being related to a 5 furlong Group 1 sprinter. I mean, if it was to run in the Guineas and be competitive, I think it'd be a feather in the cap for the stallion, without any shadow of a doubt. Very interesting horse, Bucanero Fuerte, I think. The worrying thing for everybody else with this horse is it does seem to be improving. You can see it's improving on the eye. It came back and Unquestionable headed it, I think, that day, and it came back and beat it. And at the time, Unquestionable, who was put well in his place in the Phoenix, was quite a highly touted horse at the time by some people. And then in the Phoenix, absolutely destroyed him, sauntered home by 4 lengths. And unluckily, really, not to rate higher than that, I think. Only down to the opposition, I don't think they could rate it any higher. Because what it had rated the opposition before that race, if that makes any sense. Yeah, they'd have had to admit they were wrong about the opposition to rate Bucanero Fuerte's performance any higher than that. But time will tell who was right. Bucanero Fuerte, though, very nice horse indeed. I'm looking forward to seeing how the season progresses for him. We've got a few now that are on the struggling list. None more so than Democracy. I mean, this was a shame, this one. The writing could have been on the wall when he won his maiden. It was only rated a 76 by the Racing Post. But me, I will never look at form. I always look at the pedigree of the horse. What is the horse capable of? What is the horse's ceiling? Not what it is running to. What is its potential? You know, to be a step ahead, you need to be able to predict what the horse is going to do, not what it's reacting to what it's already done. You know, if the horse has already put in a good performance, the only time people really should get involved in the horse is if they think it can put in a better one. Because it's already exposed itself. You're not going to get any value at all. You know, you're only going to get value if you think that the horse is still being underestimated. Tip there for you all, I think. I mean, this horse, to me, it has been very poor. Last, it was in the Group 3, after they identified it in the Marble Hill Stakes. I was hoping for a bit better than that. And since then, the horse has still struggled to run above 93. It's even been beaten in a handicap. Quite convincingly as well, by 11 lengths. It's been beaten in a Group 3, it's been beaten in a Group 2, it's been beaten in a listed race, and it's been beaten in a handicap. I mean, I think we'll be playing poor horse bingo with this one. This is easily the worst 1-1 that we've identified this year. It's not even close, looking at the form of it. Very disappointing horse for the pedigree it's got. Watch the video on it and see how well bred this horse is. And you'll see then that this horse has been, I think, very disappointing indeed. The next one as well, I think it's been quite disappointing. Star of Mystery, but people have to bear in mind this is the first Godolphin horse we've looked at, by the way, and Charlie Appleby hasn't had his string in the best of form this year. I think it's fair to say this one's signed by Kodiak out of a dam called Mistrusting. It's related to Alfica and all them Group 1 winners, you know, and the other filly as well that's run quite well. This one, I suppose the writing was on the wall. It was the first one we'd identified that didn't win first time out at the time. But it was very impressive in a listed race. Third time out when it didn't run to a mark above 100, according to these people. And then since then, you can argue that the lack of form of the yard combined with the horse being very disappointing has exposed the horse in 2 Group 2 races, especially at Newmarket, when it was second of 4 in what I will always call the Cherry Hinton. And in the 6 out of 8 then, York in the Lowther. The thing I will say is, you know, this horse could bounce back if the yard returns to form. But, you know, it's run 5 times. and she has to go down as one of the most exposed ones I think we've followed, without any shadow of a doubt. This one disappointing. The next one as well, Pearls and Rubies, is starting to look a bit disappointing. Trained by Aidan O'Brien. Look at the side of it. Look, what a surprise! No, nay, never. Would you Adam and Eve it? One first time out, rated a mark of 90. The horse is related to some nice horses. It's related to all the horses related to Old Carver and Jude, Quarter Moon, horses like that. A lot of horses are running these colours. Midnight Mile, one of ours, followed by the same owners. But this one here has been disappointing. I fancied it to do one quite well at Royal Ascot. One of the main disappointing things about it is it seems to be getting beaten at very short odds, which is always a massive indicator to me that we were following the wrong horse. At this stage, it's been beaten in a listed race, it's been beaten in a Group 3 race, it's been beaten in a Group 2 race, and every time it has gone off at short odds, and it's not done the job. So this is a horse really that people need to avoid. People need to get off it. Dangerous horse for the wrong reasons, because unless it wins its next start 7 to 8 to 1, and then I've got away with it, then it's the horse people are always going to be behind on, isn't it? How can they catch up with it? It's impossible to catch up with it unless it starts winning. It's bred to get a lot further than what they're running it over. I personally thought they had it right at Royal Ascot when they upped it from 5 furlongs to 7 furlongs. I'd have run a filly called Buttons in that though, rather than this one. A 6.5 furlongs race, I thought that was a strange move, and the set backed up to 7 furlongs. To me, exposed the horse really. The horse has still not raced above 93, about the same level as Democracy, in 4 starts. That's disappointing, I think, these 3. And I think we're now at the stage where, let me just look, yes, we are looking at the rest. Just the ones that are the rest. So let's... the way that I could get this YouTube is baffling when it comes to things like this. I do look. That's the here's the right. I don't want to miss any interaction. You see, it's difficult. I can see why these people have mods. You see, I really can. No one watching at the minute. Jolly good. Luckily, though, for me, nobody's watching, so I can still bang on and just get it recorded for prosperity, and then people can catch it at their convenience. The next lot, I think, are still works in progress. Evade, one based in France, owned by Qatar Racing, signed by Wootton Bassett, was what I thought was heading the wrong way. I like the pedigree of this one. I was impressed when it won first time out. One of them big maidens. And then in Group 3 level, it was only 4th out of 5 on its last start. Then it seemed to kick on a bit. It seemed to get back to roughly where the horse always had a tough ask against a horse that had beaten Ramatuel in Beauvatier. But to me, the horse there to finish second there, it's sort of not saved itself, but it's definitely made itself look more attractive on its next start. A horse to me that's clearly heading towards the Lagardère in France. Will it come to England? Probably not. So there's no entries for the horse. I deliberately didn't show the entries for the other 3 disappointing ones, because we're not really interested where the disappointing ones are running at the minute. Evade, though, no entries in the UK and Ireland, and I would say it's one that people need to keep an eye on. The French entries for at this stage. The same could be said of the winner on that day, Beauvatier. I think may have changed owners. Yeah, definitely. I don't think he raced first time out in them colours. I thought he had green colours at the start of the season. Might be wrong. There you see when he won a race against Ramatuel on his second start. It was clear then that the horse was decent. I looked at the pedigree of the horse. I think Ramatuel and Beauvatier both won on the same day at Chantilly in May. And then they went to a conditions race And then they've gone their separate ways since then. Beauvatier winning a listed race in July, the Roland de Chambord, and then winning the Group 3 Prix de la Rochette not long ago. He's still best mark of 103. But that to me could be more of an indicator of the French pattern racing, always a bit underrated, I think, by the Racing Post. More of an indicator of the ability of the horse. I mean, if it wins a French Classic, do we really care what it's rated? That's what people need to ask themselves. Beauvatier, that is one entered in the Dewhurst on the 14th of October. But again, it looks to me, as French people, they like to support their own races, and rightfully so. And to me, it looks to me like a Lagardère horse at the end of the season. I don't know if there's probably 7 furlong Group 2s along the way as well. Yeah, I do like Beauvatier, side by Lake de Vega out of Enchanted Skies. Plenty of pedigree, plenty of stamina on that pedigree, without any shadow of a doubt. And I think Beauvatier could prove to be a decent horse over the next year or so. Next one would be one of my leading 2-year-old fillies at this stage on pedigree, the Siuni sired Bellezza. The first one trained by Jare Lyons on this list. Moyglare stud horse. I mean, it won very well, I thought, first time out. Quickened well. The penny dropped. The more the horse ran, and I think that the way they've looked after this horse reminds me of the way that Dermot Weld campaigned Sahira last year. You know, he obviously thinks that there's some sort of classic horse here because of the way they're not racing it very often. At 2, Bellezza is entered in the Moyglare Stud Stakes, their own race, on the 10th of September. But worryingly, there's no prices for her on a race 5 days away. So it'll be interesting to see if she does take her chance in the race. Very nice filly, though. I wouldn't put anybody off writing this one down and following this one. I wouldn't put anybody off watching the video of her as well, just so they know why. I mean, this horse is very good. Well, the potential of it is to be very good. That's what you see. People look at the horse 1 out of 1. And I'm thinking what the form's going to be like after 6 starts now. And that's the seeding I'm hoping for, is what I've got in my own head after, say, 6 or 7 runs. And the pedigree of it suggests that this horse is very good. So I'm willing to chance the connections, and hopefully it will be. The next one impressed me at Newmarket when it won, Arabic Legend. I thought it was visually impressive that day. It won normally. Well, it was always a fair race on the July Stakes maiden for horses that aren't really racing yet. Like I said, though, the good ones are in the Group 2 on the same card. So you've got to be wary of it. But it did travel well, I thought, and it won well that day. It then raced a Godolphin horse, the Arabian Crown, that I've not really had a proper look at yet because it got beat first time out. But it's proved itself to be a listed winner when the yard was out of form. So that one really could come to August. I did say that I don't really look at many races in August and just let them race in the background. So when I look at all the races in August, chances are we'll have a good look at Arabian Crown. I do like Arabic Legend. I wouldn't put anybody off the horse, you know. Travels well, it quickened on the day it won, and it's quite a well-bred horse. You'll see the entries there, the 16th of September, the Champagne Stakes. But yeah, we've got some nice horses for that, hopefully. That's the sort of race that I'm hoping that we'll have something there. And on the Saturday as well, in the Royal Lodge as well. These are the sort of races that we're looking to win. I'm not going to make any bones about it with some of these. And Arabic Legend, will it play a part in it? Hopefully so. Nice horse. The next one as well, by the same connections, could be even better. This one, believe it or not. Rosalien, by the first season sire, which is always superb to see, in Blue Point, trained by Richard Hannon. This is from the family of Triple Time and all those horses, Ostilio. The Ream 3 line. Ream 3 is the dam of Rosalie. You know, there's this pattern race winners all day long. Horses like Third Round was one, Triple Time. So many, I can't remember them all at this stage. You'll see there that was a good race, the Patterdry Stakes, I think, at Ascot that day, the 29th of July. There's some good well-bred horses in there. I looked at them. Al Musmak I've got on the maybe list. I've got the 4th on the maybe list, Al Yanabi, also trained by another first season sire in Too Darn Hot. side, sorry, not trained. This is a nicely bred horse, Rosalien. 2 out of 2. Who knows what they've got here? Very nice. I did read the other day that the trainer mentioned the Champagne Stakes. I did see that. Yeah, and it's entered there. It's also entered in the National Stakes. No price there, though. He said that he was going to miss that with a view to waiting a week and then going to the Champagne. Hopefully, well, the Champagne, see, I've got another horse in mind for that, and we'll get to them in a few horses' time. But, yeah, nice horse was Alien. Without any shadow of a doubt, you'll see there he's also entered in races like the Middle Park, where he's 12-1, and the Dewhurst, where he's 6-1 in the early betting races. Also entered in the Royal Lodge. Very good horse, Rosalien. Won't put anybody off following this one. Ylang is one that also has ran since we made the video. I've only included ones that raced the video. I just realised that Buttons ain't on this list. Buttons ain't in this video because it hasn't ran. And I need to add that to my list and include it in the next one. So Ylang is they're on record as saying they like this filly, which is always a bit worrying because they're on the record that's saying that their best 3-year-old is the best 3-year-old they've ever trained every year. These people, if you listen to them, so it's always very dangerous to listen to these people, mostly above everybody. You know, you really got to judge the horses on your own eyes and their pedigrees, really. So they'll have you thinking their best. Every horse is their best horse if you listen to them. It ran well in June. I thought went into a mark of 93, and then it led all the way when it won a Group 3. It won the Silver Flash Stakes. It beat Vespertilio. Vespertilio come out and beat Diamonds and Rubies in the other Group 2. It's been fancied both starts, you see. Frankleside filly. It's done nothing wrong. Again, only running to 103, which would be slightly ahead of Matrika and behind Ramatuel. But Ramatuel, don't forget, has had 5 starts. You know, if there's 5 starts, even if it improves by 3 every time, 106, 109, 112, after 5 starts, it's going to be rated 115, isn't it? And that's the way people have to think. What is the horse going to do? Not what has it done? Ylang. What is she related? What race is she in? Sunday the 10th of September, she's another one in the Moy third. Warm Order, a 5-4 favourite, which indicates to me that Billets are probably not going to run. On the 29th of September as well, you will see she's also entered in the Rockfell. Another race we'd like to win. And the 13th of October, the Fillies Mile, obviously another race we'd like to win. So this is a filly that we're hoping can take out a few races and book her place on Classic Watch 2024 without any shadow of a doubt. She's certainly heading in the right way, heading the right direction on her one start since we identified her. And hopefully she'll continue to head in the right direction. Panaria is another one was identified in a later video and is therefore on the list, as despite not having ran it since its maiden, unlike Buttons, which is quite unlucky not to be on the list. Panaria, side by Lope de Vega out of Lava Flow. This is from the family of Pinatubo. Yeah, so this is a very interesting horse. Pinatubo, until proven otherwise, Pinatubo was champion 2-year-old, wasn't he? Yeah, so if this one can run up to this level, or even just a bit below, they've obviously got a good horse. They obviously fancied it on the debut, 8-11 favourite, ran to a mark of 85, this filly. And that is one that they look, hopefully they won't run that on the 8th. And they're looking to get runner in a novice stakes outside of Pack and Company on her second start rather than find out how good she is. Which to me, I don't know, at this stage of the year, it's a luxury that me, if I had horses, unless I had 300, I don't think I'm like they have. I don't think I'd be able to afford such luxuries as that. But to me, is it a pattern race horse? They seem determined to make us wait to find out, judging by that entry. So that's one to be on the list. The next one, another Godolphin filly, Race the Wind, side by Two Darn Hot. This one is from the family of Cascadian and all them. Cascadian, the horse that's done so well out in Australia. Master of the Seas, horse that has since also been gelded like Cascadian and is still winning group races this season. It's a well-bred horse, Race the Wind. One, unfortunately, that didn't win first time out and ran to a fairly average mark. But then it did get the job done second time out, running to a mark of 83. Obviously, at this stage, you've seen the horses we've got. We've got horses rated in the 110s on the side. This one is definitely one of the more riskier ones at this stage. It seems as though this is going to run in the Moyglare, 8-1 on its third start, as opposed to a novice stakes race, which to me would be interesting because I do like this horse. I do like this line. You know, this line does well for me over the years. Still doing well for me now with Cascadian. I think he's aged 8 now, I think, this year. Coming out again in Australia, hopefully. We've still got like Master of the Seas going round now, 5 or 6, being competitive and winning group races. You know, good horse. Race the wind, I'm hoping she will be. Obviously, being a filly, might not keep her, see her for as many years. It might be a case of job done and off to the paddock, hopefully. But we'll settle for that. Nice filly, hopefully. The next one is a colt that's definitely heading in the right direction. A beautifully bred Dubawi horse, sired by Dubawi out of Minding. Legendary grade Group 1 winning filly trained by Aidan O'Brien. Henry Longfellow, again, another one that's running very well up to virtually one of the highest ratings that we've got on the side so far. We had City of Troy 117, Bucanero Fuerte 116, Ramatuel 110. I'm not sure about any of the others that have missed. This one up there to 112. Rosalian was 110 as well, wasn't it? Henry Longfellow up to 112. Very good. A beautifully bred horse that seems to be doing absolutely nothing wrong. I mean, this to me, at this stage, is looking a no-brainer for the classics. Matter of just keeping him fit, keeping it sound, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get one in here at the start of the next year for all on this planet to include and wash at 3. Looks a very nice prospect. You see that 16-1 for the national stakes, probably an indicator that the horse is not going to run more than anything, and they just feel like trying to pinch some anti-post money like they do. More reasonable price, 2-1, even at this late stage with 2.5 months to go. With 2 months to go really now, 2 months and a week or so to the Dewhurst. This horse is only 2-1. Says it all really. It's also entered in the Royal Lodge and the Champagne Stakes. I don't know what we've got in the Golden Fleece Stakes. I don't seem to have one in that, do we, at the minute? Tempted to have a look at that now on live stream and have a look, but that's for off-camera stuff. Henry Longfellow, very good horse. I'm sure, hopefully, he'll stay sound and keep on moving in the right direction. The next one is the one I was on about for the Champagne Stakes. War Rooms. Very interesting horse, sired by Churchill. Out of a dam called Atticanti. I think it's the first horse that I've followed trained by Owen Burrows in the 3 Classic Watch websites. You know, this horse is quite well bred. Atticanti is a Juddmonte line. It's related to a lot of actually really quite closely related to Native Trail, this horse. It's actually related to horses like Calix, Fair Eva, all those horses. Watch the pedigree video on it. It's very nice horses who outbred this one. The reason I fancy it for the Champagne Stakes is it won by 4 3/4 lengths at Doncaster already. You know, on its debut at Doncaster when it ran to 91, which is quite higher than some of the others we've watched, isn't it? 83, 85 and all that. So the logical thing for me, if Owen Burrows knew what he was doing, was to run this horse in the Champagne Stakes. It's just a no-brainer. If this horse does not run in the Champagne Stakes and runs anywhere else, I'll be thinking that Owen Burrows doesn't know what he's doing, to be honest with people. But we'll see where he's entered it, if it is entered. There you go. It's not, you see. It's entered in the Royal. Clueless, absolutely clueless. Up in trip to a mile to the Ascendant Stakes at Haydock or the Royal Lodge. You know, I mean, I'd go for the Champagne Stakes. It was mine, but it's not. So they're not. 25-1 the price available for the Dewhurst. I mean, to me, this is a nicely bred horse. And I think if it was owned by somebody whose colours were a bit more recognisable, I think the price horse would be talked about a lot more. And these are exactly the sort of horses that I like. You know, horses that I think could be underestimated, you know, by the controlled outlets. I like War Rooms. I think it's an interesting horse until proven otherwise, this one, without any shadow of a doubt. Very nice horse, hopefully. Just realised I've not been closing down the tabs. The next two are in Germany, and they only won the other week. So we'll cover them just to give everybody a chance to write them down. Borna is one. That actually won on the 23rd, 26th of this month, or less than a week ago. No, just around a week ago, sorry. At Baden-Baden. I think Turf Times will have the entries on at Wednesday. Not really sure how Germans enter their horses. But it's one of them that you'd have to really check the German, maybe the French entries for. Will the horse ever run in England? Who knows? But I've decided to try and win German classics next year. You know, so the horse could possibly never even run in the UK. But if it wins the German Derby, then I'll be delighted with the horse. Very well bred horse. The same could possibly said of Narrativo, although if someone had to ask me at this stage which of the two German-based ones I like the most, I'd have to go with the previous one, Borna. This one, though, Narrativo, side by Adler Flug, looks a nice horse, and it won well. But I go on pedigrees, and I do think the other one shows me more of a higher ceiling in pedigrees than this one does. But I do think this one is stamina laced, really, and that's what I'm hoping for. A nice mile and a half Derby runner that maybe can excel. You know, the next Torquato Catasso would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's see how the horses do. Right. I mean, that's it, really. I apologise, really, to Connections of Buttons. Their horse really should be on the video, and as soon as I close this video down, I'm going to add it to the list, because that is one I'm definitely following. It should be on the list. It's only the fact because it hasn't ran, and it was identified in the very first video. And the rest have ran, and that one hasn't. As to why it's not on the list. But it will be on the next one. The Classic Watch 24.great/site.net. Hopefully some of the horses will find their way onto here. Check it out anyway, for if you're looking to try and look at some Australian horses that I like. There's some nice horses going around in Australia. No way am I going to say that I've identified all of them. There's so many. You know, I tend to be very selective and try and limit. You know, if they race too many times, it puts me off, because I know that they race so often in Australia that in 3 months the horse could probably race 4 times, and I've lost 4 times. I'm being quite unlucky for 4 times. You know, it's difficult out there, very difficult. So Australian racing there, if anybody wants it. But for now, I'm going to end this live stream here. Thank you very much to everybody for visiting the channel. It's very much appreciated, as always. Plenty more videos up and coming. Normally this video is a sort of a end of a chapter, really, and then what I do is I tend to crack on and make some more videos. I've got a big to-do list. Well, it's only got 2 horses on it at the moment. But as I look through races in August, probably horses that have won first time out and not raced yet, maybe, or horses that have raced at the beginning of August and have won pattern races, or 2 out of 2. There might be a few of them coming up in the next month or so. But for now, I'm going to leave the video there. And we've also got the St Ledger as well, obviously. We might do something regarding that next week. Take a look at what we've got running for that. We've got a few running in that, hopefully. But for now, take care, everybody. Enjoy the weather if you can. Enjoy the rest of your day. And take care, everybody. Goodbye.